Hello there and welcome back to Satisfactory. Yes, we're back on Satisfactory once again, going to be continuing our single player playthrough on 1.1. But first, it is Monday, so hopefully y'all had yourselves a great weekend over the weekend, as well as I'm glad to see you back here for Monday. And also I'd like to thank and welcome all of the newest subscribers that we have gained over the last week and over the weekend. You guys are awesome, and also thank you to the people that have stuck with me thus far. You guys are also awesome. It is great to see the channel continuing to grow, and I'm going to thank you guys every single Monday for that, because the channel is growing. It's all thanks to you guys, you know, hitting that like button, the subscribe button, all the wonderful comments, and the people that have hit the join button, joining the investors team to support the channel financially. A huge thank you to you guys as well. And even you just sitting here watching this video is a huge, huge thank you from me to you, because all of that stuff that I just mentioned pushes the channel through the algorithm, all the videos and stuff, and it continues to snowball the channel into greatness. So, huge thank you to you guys for doing all that. Very awesome. So if you weren't here last time or last week, last week we had gotten the adaptive control units factory, the high-speed connector factory done as well. As we had also started on finishing up the grasslands loop, the other half of the loop that is, so that we can continue to make even more factories. So we'll be doing that as this week, as well as maybe even starting on a few new factories. We shall see. But we do have one glaring problem. Not going to name any names. Plastic factory. Yeah, that factory needs to be fixed. We're going to have to address it today. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be addressing that factory today and seeing what else we can get done. So it should be good. So without further wasting of time, let's go ahead and hop on into it. Let's go. Alrighty then, and here we are, ready to get started for the day. With all the lag in the world. So a few things. One of the things I have done is I have turned off all of the sinks on all of the factories, except for the factories that need to stay running. The ones that need to stay running, of course, are the ones on the aluminum factory, the ones for the aluminum scrap. Otherwise, we'd back up on aluminum scrap, and then we'd lose our balance when it comes to the water loop, because we're using the alumina, the sloppy alumina, and the pure aluminum ingot recipe combo. And we produce an excess of water, and we got that water looping back into the water loop system, or into the water import system to make the alumina solution. So it just kind of loops around, and we would end up losing that loop if the aluminum scrap didn't continue to go. Other thing that we did is what else did I do? I turned on, the other factory that is currently running is the plastic factory. The plastic factory has to continue to sink plastic and rubber in order to continue to produce heavy oil, in order to produce rocket fuel, so that, oh my gosh, sorry about the flashing. I can't I can't turn it off. Oh, that's a little better. It's like, good lord, that was bad. Okay. And my FPS has tanked. Of course. But yeah, like I said, we need to address the plastic factory. That is one of the things that we are going to be doing today, is heading out and addressing that factory. Yeah, so that factory needs to be addressed pretty heavily, because the current setup that we got, I have to keep coming over here and sinking flushing the heavy oil out of the system in order so we can continue to make plastic. Now, this is not much of an issue anymore, because all of the factories, like I said, all of the factories, the sinks have been turned off. So they're no longer sinking stuff. So they're only going to produce until all the factories have, basically the end line factories are completely done, so, which won't take long. I didn't do that too long ago, so it'll take a little bit. But yeah, so on the roof of this, we're going to put in a temporary kind of packaging facility on the roof of our plastic factory, because Yeah, that's it's just a mess, and it's very, very irritating. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loop, or I'm going to tee off for the heavy oil. I'm just going to push it out the wall and then loop it back up with some pumps. Get it up onto the roof, and then start sinking it. Now each line runs roughly 600, so that's what we're going to plan for, is 600 heavy oil that we got to get sunk. I'm trying to stay high up in the air, because here pretty soon we're going to run out of ionized fuel to burn. And yeah, it is going to kind of make we're not going to produce as much heavy oil coming out into the train station. That's why I really do wish we had smart splitters for the pipeline junctions. That would be pretty cool. All right, but yeah, these factories right here, as you can see, these factories are not sinking any plastic. This one is, luckily, but this one's not sinking any plastic. I don't know why that's not. There should be plastic coming up here, because man, it's but it could be that a lot of the factory itself is just stuck with heavy oil, which is really it's really difficult to get working. So production, we need to go to packager. So how much does one of these packagers use? We're going to be doing packaging heavy oil. Let's max it out. Okay, so 75 heavy oil residue. 3,000 divided by 75. That's 40 of these suckers. That's 40. Oh. Good Lord, man. Now we gotta paint them, right? Well, this is going to be like this for a long time, and the reason that we have to do this is because we need to get rid of the heavy oil. But the reason that we have to do this mainly, the reason we're not making rocket fuel with it is because our plant that's going to be doing power, our power plant, it's gonna be burning off fuel for power. That one uses ionized fuel, unfortunately. So we can't make ionized fuel because we're not in phase 5, because in order to make ionized fuel, you need a power shard factory. Well, in order to unlock synthetic power shards, you need stuff from phase 5 to be able to make that. And we're not in phase 5 yet. So we have to come up with a temporary solution. The temporary solution was, you can't really see it from here. It's probably just going to be tiny little pixels. But over roughly in that direction, there is a 10-car train that's dropping off heavy oil to be sunk. Basically, it was a temporary solution. We take a train over there, 10-car train, it would drop off heavy oil, then it goes through a bunch of packagers and so on and so forth, right? Well, the problem is that factory, between the train and that factory getting the heavy oil and sinking it, it's not fast enough. It's just not fast enough. So we're going to have to make our own, which is unfortunate. Okay, so this one was set, and this one's set. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dang it. We're not going to be able to fit. I mean, I could fit probably 12 here. We need to get rid of 4. We need to get 40 of these suckers going. I'm just trying to think, what would be the best way? Well, because 40... Hold on, 40 divided by 5 is 8. So if we put them in pods of 8... So yeah, there's a line of 8. Actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let's put this over here somewhere. There we go. Let me just copy that. Oh. Wrong game. I'm over here hitting R. which doesn't do anything. But yeah, if we point these towards the center, let's point them like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there I go again. It's not how that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the excess plastic that's coming up here for sinks, and we're going to redirect it to making packages instead. Yeah, because there's a lot of plastic being sent up here. Yeah, the main issue with it is we're going to have we might have issues with the plastic not getting up here when the train stations get taken from. I'm just hoping that we have enough here that that's not going to be a bother. That's my goal. But we have to take the excess. We can't just take directly from. It's just not possible. I think this is, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, how many power shards do I have left? I have 120. Unless this stop taking. Nope, it's still good. Okay. It's like, yeah, I have a decent amount. The other thing we got to do this current month, you know, in August, we've got to get this map presentable. I'm not going to tell you why, but we do got to kind of redo some of our factories' overall look to kind of make it look a little bit better. Again, like I said, not going to tell you why. I'm not going to spoil the surprise, but we do need to make it a little more presentable than some of these factories that you need. Some of these factories you need a flashlight just to be able to see inside them. So freaking funny. Okay, yeah, so so all these are going to merge. So 780 divided by 75, that's 10 machines roughly. Okay, so we'll do 4 lines then. Like each one of these is going to merge into, we'll put mergers down. Now we are placing on roof tiles, so we might have to be a little bit careful with that. We got to get power poles. And I think each one of these, how much does this make? So this needs 75 empty canisters. And if we go production, now unfortunately, I think the constructors are a bit bigger. Oh no, they're not. Okay, so if we put the constructors here, we tell it we want canisters. We could program these to do 75. And then we can have, so program this to do 75. That does 37, what did I say? 37 and a half. We'll just paint this. All right, so 37.5. So 780 divided by 37.5. That's 20. So I mean, we could roughly do, so we could do half and half. We could have one. Oh no, that we wouldn't be able to make that work as well as we wanted to. We could take this plastic line can go to this one can go to this one can go to this one, and this one can go to this one. Yeah, that'll work. I'll take that. Okay. Oh, perfect. These line up perfectly. And again, this is just a temporary measure. But yeah, this just makes for easy math, and I can just for logistics as well. It's just gonna make so much sense for logistics wise. Or make so much. It'll make my life easier. But yeah, and we'll be sinking pretty much all the heavy oil this factory can push out. Now we might have to turn some of it off in order to in order to have some heavy oil for fuel. But for the most part, actually, you know what I should do? I should go over to the fuel factory this episode and make sure that I know how much heavy oil I'm using. That way I don't run out of fuel, because if we run out of rocket fuel, we run out of power. That's just a fact. That's the only thing holding us together. I mean, we do have, was it 160 batteries or something like that? We have a lot of batteries, but that's not going to last very long. That's going to last maybe an hour's worth of gameplay, and then we're going to be screwed. We're going to be so screwed again. Now, we do have power augmenters, of course, to help us re-jumpstart the system, but it's not enough. Okay. And then, yeah, like I said, we'll do is we'll just take this like that. Perfect. And just get those all connected. All right, so I'm going to get this all powered and connected to our plastic, and then we'll figure out how we're going to do our pipes. All right, and after a little bit of time of just randomly building here, we got our pipes in place. We've got all of our stuff in place. We had some extra belt work, or extra plastic and stuff that was being sent out. So I just kind of pushed that into these two. Same with this side. Gonna push that into these two. We've got the sinks just specifically for the packaged heavy oil, so we should be good there. Now, I know this isn't 40. I realized that when I was building it, and I went, oh, whoops. This is actually 32, because it's 8, 16, and then another 16, that's 32. So, and I did have to move the hypertube cannon just ever so slightly. Oh, that does remind me. As well. So that can go there, and this can go here. There we go. Forgot I had to replace that. All right. And then, of course, all of these have made all their packages already while I was building. Had it all powered up as well. I went a little bit lazy with the power. Just kind of ran cables up from these power poles here that connect to the machines directly there. Same with this one. Runs a power cable across. Okay, so now all we got to do is get through all this lag. We need to get the pipes from the logistics floor, which is right there. We need to get all those pipes up to the center here, get them split off, and then get them coming up directly. I know that's not, like I said, I know that's not 40 pipes, but I believe the remaining heavy oil could be sunk. Or not sunk, could be used up by the other stuff. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go wall hole. Stick it right there. I'm still gonna make this look decent, decent-ish. Okay, what I'm going to do is, I think there's power in there. I don't know if there's power in there. If not, we'll bring some power to the outside. We'll see what happens, but it would be nice to be able to put a pump right before this goes up the wall. You know, we're going to do it like that. Why not? Hold control so it doesn't try to connect to the other one. And then we're going to paint. Yeah, we might have to bring a 5th pipe up here, but we're gonna place these as if we're gonna do 4. Ah. I clicked it. It's so laggy that it's not working. That's right. We'll paint those connectors in a minute. Like I said, I still want to make this look decent enough. Yeah, we're gonna have to have pumps on the outside of this just to push it up. I think we're gonna take from the rear of the train toward the front, because the front usually gets used up quite a bit. So, all right, put it to there. There, put it to there, put it to there, and then here's where it's going to get interesting because I did stack those on top of each other like that. So let's see. I guess first things first, let's get it up here like this. That should form, yeah. Like that should form a perfect elbow there. Actually, what we need to do is these two outer ones need to go higher. So we'll do a conveyor pole. Put that there. Yeah, well, this may be all we do with this episode because we still gotta go over to the other factory that's sinking all the plastic or sinking all the heavy oil with that second heavy oil train, and delete the train, delete all the stuff that it's doing because we can't be using that as well. Otherwise, we will not have any heavy oil for once this system is running. We won't have any heavy oil for fuel, so we need to make sure that we get that going correctly. Okay, so then, yeah, I'm going to bring them to the middle side by side. So we'll bring it. Is this good enough to S-bend that? Or is that that might be too close. Nope, it was perfect. Okay. No! I hate when it does that. Don't. Just connect, please. Disconnect, thank you. Look, it's annoying enough already to build with this lag, so... And then we're going to go all the way. Let's see, how many should we go? So 1, there you go, 2. Yeah. I know we're putting them together, then we're getting ready to spread them back out again. Yeah, you know, it looks okay like this. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these close enough to S-bend them. Perfect. Do the bottom one. I gotta do the bottom one first. There we go. And like I said, hopefully this will get rid of enough heavy oil, because that's, let's see, we're doing 3,000, right, roughly? I mean, we're not producing that much, but 3,000, and we subtract that by 600. So we're actually doing 2,400 at the current moment. We're sinking 2,400 up here. All right, so now we got to do our pumps. So the stuff is already on the ceiling right there. So we got to put the first set of pumps roughly here, I think, like right. Where should we put the pumps, to be honest? We'll put them on the inside. Maybe put them like right here. Okay. And we'll just sink them into each other. Yeah, we're gonna need a second set. I realize that. Okay, and then we'll go just below it, the section right below it. Put that section like right in the middle. That should do. Is that correct? I think that's correct. Hard to tell. Actually, that might be incorrect. Let's redo this one. I think it was correct, actually. Again, hard to tell. Okay. That works there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put, let's see, power. I'm going to put a Mark II. I wonder if I'll be able to reach it if it's back there. I think I can. I hope I will be able to. Oh. Oh, actually, yeah, I'll be able to if I do this. Do it like this. Mark II. Let's actually pull it through the wall from here, because we'll have power over here. Ah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so we'll hook it there. And then for this one down here... Oh, let's go ahead and paint these. There we go. For this one down here... I think I might run power up the wall behind this. There. And then run that up to there. And there we go. All of our pumps. There it is. I was like, where's my hole? I'm being lazy. Making holes. Yep, that's all the pumps connected. Alrighty, that should do. I don't think we'll need pumps up here at the top. I think that should push it all the way to each one of those machines. If not, we'll put some pumps up there to keep pressure, but like I said, I think that's good. Alright, so now I just got to connect up all of this. So I'm going to leave this very front pipe right here alone. But what I will do is we'll put a... Right before this, we'll put a connector and then we'll run it to the middle from all of these pipes. Get that all connected and then we'll see how everything works out from there. Alrighty, so we've got everything hooked up as far as pipelines go. It's not a super clean down here, but it's a temporary measure, so it's fine. Now, some of these pipes do not have any heavy oil in them, or have very little. This is because a lot of the train station is still taking on some of that. It's taking on a lot of that heavy oil, and we're splitting just before it goes down into the train station. So it's trying to split between the two, but since we have been doing a lot of flushing on the system, it's going to take it a while before it actually gets back up here. Now, what's cool though is that syncing all of this is going to definitely help out the system, because once it starts getting full, like one of these lines is completely full and ready to go. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and turn these on. Now, I did just disconnect it, so that way it didn't just start running. Alrighty. So yeah, a lot of these are going to get full immediately. And are just going to start sending it out. Now, these are running at 600 per minute, so that's why I have a sync on each line. Is they're going to be running at 100 per minute, so, or sorry, 600 per minute. But if we get any heavy oil coming up here, that'll work there. Now that we've got this hooked up, though, the one thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go down here, wait for the heavy oil train that comes by. That's the temp one, and we're going to have to delete that train. That way, for one, it'll stop taking heavy oil, and for two, that'll really allow our system to get ramped up as well. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, a lot of this, like I said, I did just sync this not too long ago. So yeah, a lot of this system is still trying to get back full again. But we shouldn't need to sync anymore. This one's full. We shouldn't need to sync anymore. The only one that isn't being sunk is this very front car. So this very front car is probably going to fill up very quickly. But like I said, we're syncing the rest of it, so we'll see what happens. 2,400 out of 3,000 roughly. Not all the pipes are going to be running at that speed anyway, so yeah, that'll be fun. But we should be seeing a train come in. Is this our temp one? Let's see. Temp heavy oil packaging, yep. Temp heavy oil train. We're going to turn it off, and we're just going to go ahead and remove this train from the train line. This one is going away. Because we no longer need it. And I believe we do have to flush this before it'll... Actually, I don't know. Let's try to delete one. Nope, it didn't do anything, so... Now this is the actual heavy oil train. This is the one that goes for the fuel factory, which we're going to take a ride on here. But this one's going to take whatever heavy oil it can over to our fuel factory. That's why we're going to ride it. But yeah, now the heavy oil has somewhere to go that's actually at the factory. Now, of course, we're going to be taking a lot of this heavy oil as well, but that's okay. I'm more than okay with it filling up this train as well, because I don't know how much we're using, but we're definitely not using enough for this train to be really viable. This train is the one serving the entire factory, so a lot of the train is actually not even being used. I just got to make sure. We might have to temporarily very spaghettify the output of this train specifically, just so that we can fill up or use up the entire train station of heavy oil, just for the little bit of rocket fuel that we're making. And everything's gonna be very, very laggy, of course. It's so laggy. Wow, it's completely frozen. Uh-oh. We might have... Nope, no, we're good. Okay. Alright, very laggy ride over there. Alright, and here we are over at our fuel factory. So, like I said, yeah, a lot of this, I might have to, like, connect all this into one storage somehow. Or into one set of pipes, because a lot of this is making our rocket fuel. Now, temporarily, the only rocket fuel that we're actually using is this one. Yeah, this is the only one that's actually being... This is the only one that's actually using anything. Hey, how much heavy oil are we using? We're only using 150. Okay, hold on. So, 2,400... Okay, so 2,400, yeah. Alright, so we need to... Essentially, we're going to have to make more. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be enough. We'll see. We'll see. We're going to head over here, actually. There we go. Over to our temporary fuel factory. And I want to see how many packagers I had over here. Because if I have 32 packagers, then I need to up my game, because I know this is not enough. This is definitely not enough. And we had extra storage when it come to the train itself having, you know, extra storage for that. So we're just going to follow the tracks over here. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of extra lag as well going on, I've noticed. And that is when I looked over, this game wasn't really using any of my GPU, which I was just like, huh, that's not good. So yeah, I might have to restart the game. Just it might be unstable at the moment. That might be what's causing it. I might be way over that limit there. Okay, so how many do I have here? All right, so 10, 20, 30. Okay, so 30 was not enough. All right, that works. Okay, so we have 32. Now, like I said, I'm gonna get rid of all this because this is no longer needed. And in fact, this train station is no longer needed either. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to... Oh, jeez. There's a wee bit of lag. There is a wee bit of lag. I'm just going to run this like this for now. There we go. Yeah, I got to get rid of all this. I'm going to get rid of this train station too, and this train that's doing this. I'm going to sync the packages, the rest of the packages, and we'll get everything working, or get everything the way it's supposed to be. So this is the only train station that'll be left, because that one is actually this is currently our power. This right here is our power that we're using right now. Now, the only reason we're not using so much power is because not only the boosters, but if we look at our power usage here, our consumption is well below the boosted power. So we're good. But yeah, a lot of those factories should have been turned off, or at least most of them have, because I turned off all the sinks. So yeah, let me get rid of all this and get rid of this train station and yada yada yada. Then we'll see how well the heavy oil situation does at the plastic factory. Well, plastic and rubber, I should say. Alrighty, so now that we've gotten rid of all of that over there, which is good, we're back over here now, running with this particular thing. So this one is actually working quite well, and I'm quite happy with this setup. It seems to work really nicely. Of course, we don't have enough plastic to support all of the packages being made. Doesn't look like. Like this one is not running as fast as it could be. And this one is running faster. I don't know how these are running and the way they're running it, but yeah, a lot of this side is being sunk and this side is having a hard time keeping up. But what's really nice though is you're looking at some of these machines, they're yellow. They're actually not getting enough heavy oil residue. And you're just like, well, that's not good. But then you look at our pipes here, and our pipes are running at 600. They're running at maximum speed, which is really nice, actually. We may not be getting rid of all the heavy oil, but we're getting rid of a huge chunk of it. I mean, we've got more packagers than the other facility had. That one had 30. This one has 32. So we're sinking, 2,400 oil as well, which is really nice. The heavy oil train has been filled up, but that's just because we're splitting between the heavy oil train. So those stations are going to fill completely up, but that doesn't matter. Because our splits are before the train stations. So if they're before the train stations, if those train stations completely fill up, they're going to send the rest of the oil up here. Also, this is a quick little thing. If we go down here, I have went through this right here, and I pulled off this extra line, which is the 5th heavy oil line. And I have basically I put some pumps in here just to kind of keep everything going. We don't need this valve anymore. But yeah, just keep it going. And basically this one, what it does is it splits between all 4 lines and then it just kind of merges. Like I said, it's a little bit of a spaghetti, but I think we're good here. And then I got 3 pumps up here as well running all this. So everything's pushing into each other, but then it's pushing upwards because that's the only way it can go. So we're splitting before the train station. So the train station could get full all at once. All the excess is going to head up here, which, yeah, these machines aren't running at full speed. A lot of them are, you know, or some of them are turning yellow because they don't have enough heavy oil. And then these are turning yellow because they're too full. Oh, this one's, whoopsie. Let me turn that back on. I was doing that just to kind of fill up I wanted this line to be a little more full. So that it was running at max speed. Actually, I did manage to make that happen. Okay. Let's turn this off for a minute and just kind of let these machines fill up. But yeah, everything is going swimmingly so far. So as long as the plastic keeps flowing, we don't have to worry about it. But yeah, you can see all the heavy oil is being sunk, which is nice. And because I turned off all the other sinks, our production rate for tickets has been completely removed. We went from producing around 5 million points a minute to now we're doing like 500,000 points a minute. I've completely cut it off. One of the big cuts obviously was like adaptive control units and such, but one of the biggest ones that was being cut was the cooling systems. The cooling systems, we're making a lot of cooling systems, but I turned that off, and yeah, it's kind of hit that point now. All right, I want these machines to completely fill up with heavy oil before we turn that back on, and then that'll keep the production rate going at max. Just as long as it stays at max, because the pipe itself, if you know anything about the fluid dynamics in this game, the pipe itself, the flow rate also kind of depends on how full the pipe is. Obviously, a full pipe is going to run at maximum speed that it can, and when it's mostly empty, it's going to flow pretty crappily, which makes a lot of sense in the fluid dynamics world, because if your hose line is putting pressure out and it's only half full, then it's going to kind of just run out of the hose. But if it's as soon as you turn on the faucet and it's completely full, going at maximum pressure, it's gonna flow faster. I guess it makes somewhat of sense. I mean, I'm not any experts on fluid dynamics in the real world, but anyway, I think that's good right there. So we're going to turn this back on. But yeah, everything is looking good. I'm pretty happy with it. So that problem, I'm going to consider it fixed for now. If we have any more issues with plastic, I guess we'll look at it again. But I think we're doing good. I think as long as, like I said, as long as the plastic keeps flowing, then we should be good here. I got mergers on these, and the priority should be the main line coming in, and then we've got the excess line. And not that it really matters. Just as long as it gets full, it stays full. We're producing enough plastic to make enough packages to keep this going. Because right now, we're using all the overflow. We're using the plastic overflow and the heavy oil overflow to make this system work. So, but anyway, unfortunately, we are out of time for this episode, so we're going to have to go ahead and leave it here. So next time, we're going to go back out to the grasslands, because this is fixed. We're going to go back out to the grasslands. In fact, I'll do that right now. But we'll go back out to the grasslands, and we're going to try and finish. I shouldn't have done that while I was in the air. Whoops. We're going to go out and finish the... we'll do it next time. But we're going to go out and finish or try to finish the grasslands loop. and see how far we can get with that, so we can start building factories again. And like I said, hopefully this problem is now fixed. This is all it took. So we're gonna say it's fixed, but we don't know. So anyway, like I said, that is gonna be it. So I do hope you enjoyed. Oh, and before you go, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of the investors you can see on your screen right now. Seriously, thank you. You guys are awesome. It is much appreciated. And until next time, I guess it's a goodbye.